Rachael Ray, double R, doing some double N's. Boop. What? Food that you can make so quick, it will free you up for more free time in your life. Over the top, crushing it. Oh my God, it smells fantastic. Boom! Nailed it! Hey everybody, and welcome to Upstate, not Tuscany. Boop! Upstate! I'm wearing this for good luck for several shows during this series. This is my friend Dave's work. He makes all of these patches out of pictures and fabrics. And I am wearing this with my gift from my friend Judy Zander from last Christmas because I'm so happy to be upstate. Look, I love the ability that I have to be in Italy with my husband, a couple times a year, and to share our house and our home with you there. But this is where I'm from. This is where I was born. This is where I come from. And I am very proud. So I love cooking in both places and sharing them with you guys. Okay, so over here, I'm pouring pistachios and pine nuts into a small pan, and I'm just gonna let them get toasted and yummy. When we toast nuts or seeds of any kind, we develop all of their flavor. It brings out their oils, the essence of everything you smell and feel when you enjoy them. That all happens because we take the time to toast them. That's why I make my own curry spice. That's why I toast every nut that goes into any dish I'm making. Pesto is a very simple thing. Well, at least it is in America. We just grind up, right? A couple of cups of basil and add some cheese. But actually, it's very complicated in Italy. In Italy, you have to buy holy basil, very small leaves, and you cook it and cold shock it. We're not gonna do that. It's just too much work for most folks. So what we're going to do here is make a very simple pesto with a little bit of toasted nut, lightly toasted nut. This is very bad for me. I tend to burn nuts and bread. And I can't make coffee. I'm actually not allowed to make coffee when John is in casa, when John is at home. Honey, can you watch the nuts?
What?
Can you just babysit the nuts? So moving along, this is a particular type of pesto from the city of Lucca, and it's always made very traditionally.
A flat city, one of the very few flat cities in all of Tuscany.
Yes, you love Lucca. With a little bit of green bean and a little bit of potato in with the pasta. Now this stretches the meal, so that's a great thing. This makes the meal more substantive and you can feed more people. When we are cutting the green beans, I buy haricots verts. What does that mean? It just means green beans in French. So if you can't get haricots verts written on the package, just buy green beans. It's no big deal. But you have to trim the ends. You have to trim any bit of the stem that's still attached, right? You just clean them up a little bit, and then we cut them on a bias. Throw it in a bowl. And you need about a pound of these. We're using a pound of pasta, a pound of green beans, and about a pound to a pound and a half. You have to buy a baggie of these little guys. These little guys are thin-skinned baby potatoes, and their bags usually weigh a pound and a quarter to a pound and a half. So we're gonna have to buy a little bit more than we probably need for that, but who cares? Potatoes are potatoes and they're delicious, and let's be their friend. And we just slice them and then dice them. Don't be too precious about this. It's a silly, simple dish. But whenever we cook with potatoes, if you're not putting them directly into the pan, you must put them in water and keep them covered so they don't brown on you. They will brown on you almost immediately. It'll shock you. But let's not let that happen. Just dice them up, throw them into the water, and you're good to go.
It's like an apple, right?
Yes, honey. Well, apples, I use a little bit of lemon juice, not water. I don't put apples in water. I give them a little lemon juice. But yes, same thing. Lots of things, avocados, brown, they need lime juice. They all need a different doctor.
But you don't call it lemon water. You call it that fancy, funny word that starts with an A.
What?
Acidulated. Acidulated.
Yes.
Sounds like a Dr. Seuss word. Acidulated.
He's very cute. He's a lawyer, and he's using improper words.
I remember the first time you said acidulated, I was like, what is she talking about? And then I thought about it, it's acid, acidulated, right?
Very good, John. Okay, so next talking point. Basil. When you bring a basil home from the store, never, ever, ever just throw it in the fridge. Basil hates icy cold. You will kill it, it will turn black, and you'll have a very short life for the basil. You keep basil like this, in fresh water, change the water every couple of days, just like you would for flowers. So we keep the basil under a bag to make a little greenhouse for it. So this is 2 cups of basil sitting in the food processor. John is working on the nuts. Can't even say that with a straight face. And we use in the recipe an equal amount of fat handful each of pecorino romano, which means sheep's milk cheese from Rome, and
Parmigiano Reggiano.
Parmigiano Reggiano from Parma, near where we live when we're in Italy. We're gonna stream in olive oil. This is from my land, our land. This is from our home. But you can use any olive oil you like. Shameless plug right there. This is also Rachael oil that's sold in America.
And it's excellent.
Shameless plug, shameless plug. I admit to it. And you can use salt and pepper. Now, this is your choice. Salt and red pepper, or you can use black pepper. If you like a strong taste and a little bit more spice in the back of your throat when you're eating your food, use the red pepper. If you like less of that, use a little bit of black pepper. Totally your choice. Now, the most important part to me for this pesto is that we get the citrus, the lemon zest. Now, when we say zest a lemon, we're only talking about the yellow part of the skin. Of course, we clean our fruits and vegetables when they come home, put them away clean and ready to use as best you can. I always put away onions, garlic, shallots, things that you use every day. Put it away clean and ready to use, or you're not gonna use it. So I'd say we have a good fat tablespoon of zest in there. Now we're going to take the lemon itself, and when we buy lemons, literally pick them up with your hands, smell them. If they have brown spots on them, don't buy them. And always squeeze a lemon from cut side up so that the seeds don't go into the dish.
Are you acidulating that basil?
You're such a lawyer. Oh, you just made me drop the thing in there because you made me laugh. All right, now we're going to put in the toasted nuts if John is done. Now we're going to add pine nuts, a handful of pine nuts, and a handful of Sicilian pistachio, which I just buy online. It's not a big deal. Any shelled pistachios are fine. But I buy these guys online, and they really are brighter green and cooler. Okay, this is embarrassing and a little bit funny. I can never figure out which way to put the lid on, and it just is what it is. John, don't put this. No, it doesn't work that way, right? It has to go that way. He can't do it either.
I think I got it.
All right, okay. He wins. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
All right, now I'm gonna stream in the olive oil. About a half a cup. And then we're going to add a little bit of pepper and salt. I want red. And the most important thing is when this is pureed, honey, will you put this in this bowl for me? Just grab a little scoopy thing. The most important thing is that you stir in the cheeses when it's done. Don't throw them into the food processor. It makes the texture, I found over the 30 years I've been making pestos, that, oh, thanks, honey. Well,
That might hurt
don't
somebody.
eat a blade.
Let me get rid of the blade.
I find that over the 30 years I've been making pesto, that the texture is better when you stir the cheese in later.
I like that you match your food.
Oh,
That.
I'm kind of matching the food,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, so I find that the texture of the pesto and the color, that's the important thing. The color stays brighter and greener if you stir the cheese in. Hon, can I just pass that to you so it's out of my way? Thank you. So, this is gonna sound weird because you just added a ton of oil to that, but you need a little bit more to continue to marry this and thin it out. The most important thing when you cook any pasta is to save the starchy cooking water while the pasta is cooking. So let's move on to this point quickly. Over here, this giant pot is called a brazier. And I like to do this when I make long pasta. But I personally designed this pot because we had a crap stove when we were kids and fell in love many, many years ago. John had a stove that was this big. It was as big as half of this stove, and only 3 burners worked. So I drew on a piece of paper, could we make long pots and a long pan so that people that had crappy stoves could make everything in the world? I bought this at just a kitchen supply place for restaurants, you know. It's not expensive, but I bought this crazy brazier because I love this. Long pasta. Sometimes I buy 2-foot-long spaghetti or cornetta, which is just like a flat spaghetti. Sometimes I just want the long. It's fun. Now you can, of course, I made this pot so you could cook spaghetti in it because I wanted a thing that makes the long spaghetti. But this is super long. So I bought the super size also. Now, this is a lesson in, hey man, even if you invent something that's really cool, give props to other people that make the basics that you grew up with. And this is what I grew up with in restaurants. Everybody has a brazier going all the time in restaurants, just like they have a flat top cooking, hot and ready to go. So what's gonna happen now is really fun and exciting, and what makes this Luca style. While the pasta is cooking, I am going to add green beans, these guys, and potatoes. What? Yes, potatoes and green beans. You don't even have to make a salad. They're getting their green beans. We don't even have to worry about, is there enough pasta? Because there's potatoes too. Everybody's going to be happy. I'm going to stir now into our pesto so we don't make it cloudy, our pecorino, sheep's milk, and our parmigiano reggiano, cow's milk. Oh, and what's coming next? John's making a cocktail. All right, honey, I think you're next. So with any pasta, the most important part of the process is the marriage of the pasta to the sauce. But when it's absolutely essential is with pestos, the starchy cooking water from the pasta itself, which you should salt as if it were seawater. The marriage of the sauce and the pasta happens when you put the hot cooking water back together with the starches in the dish. The pasta itself, or in this case, the pasta and the potatoes and the green beans. And there you go, enjoy.
So to go with Rachel's pesto, I'm gonna make a spin on a classic Italian cocktail. Italians aren't really known for their cocktail culture. They're known for wine, of course. But the Negroni is an Italian classic that's been around for years and years and years. And it's Campari, which is this bitter red liqueur from Italy that it kind of tastes like a really, really bitter grapefruit. And it's got really beautiful color to it. Anyway, so Campari and gin and a little sweet or red vermouth, and you have a Negroni. But what I'm gonna do, just because I feel like using a blender, is I'm gonna make a frozen Negroni. And I've never done this before, so I hope it works out. And we
People
shall
like
see.
frozen margaritas, why not a frozen Negroni?
That's what I'm saying. So it's kind of, you can't really make this one cocktail at a time. You gotta make a whole batch of it, which I think we got enough thirsty people around here that we'll have.
My sister
We'll have
could clear
enough.
the whole blender.
So we're doing equal parts. I'm doing a cup each of Campari and gin. And then I'm gonna do half of that of red vermouth, so a half a cup of red vermouth. I mean, red vermouth is actually brown. I don't know why they call it red vermouth, but I guess brown vermouth sounds kind of gross. Now, because we're gonna put in a whole bunch of ice, which now that I mentioned the word ice, I just realized I have no ice near me, so I gotta go get ice. So because this drink is gonna get watered down, because I have about 2 cups of ice here, I'm gonna add a little sweetness to it, and then I think once it gets watered down with the ice, it'll balance out. So I'm putting in some fresh squeezed orange juice. Always use fresh squeezed. And I'm putting in a little bit of simple syrup. And then the ice. And then we turn on this contraption. So I'm gonna press this button that looks like it has a shake or a smoothie on it. See if that works.
Push on.
Whoa! I figured it out. All right. Well, that happened.
He's a lawyer. That's a lawyer. That's a lawyer. Doesn't know how to turn the blender on.
I don't know, this looks pretty nice. And then we have some nice orange wheels. Honey, do you want one of these?
They're really good.
Not really. Give them to the guys. Fine.
Wow! Dished right on camera! Unbelievable! No more frozen drinks on the Rachael Ray cooking show.